I. By the way, that's a true Southerner's way of saying all right. Once again, it goes something like this. I. Here it comes again. The famous, no, make that infamous Nutnfancy EDC fanny pack. Come on now, embrace the EDC fanny pack, bro. Live it. Love it. You won't be sorry. This is, of course, Nutnfancy. It is September 2012 multi-tool review. To get to it, I have to show you the fanny pack again. Look at the top of the screen. That was my EDC update a long time ago. Dudes are always asking, hey, what's the change in your system? My answer is not much. When I find a system that works, yes, the Mountain Smith Vibe 2 fanny pack for me works. I stick with it. Been running Vibe fanny packs for well over 10 years. I get about, I don't know, 3 years or so out of one. Send it back to Mountain Smith for warranty work. They're excellent. And yes, I have more. What? You're still laughing about the fanny pack? Well, I'll tell you what, you ain't going to be laughing when I do my gear check on you. Yeah. Suddenly you're not laughing then. I run into you guys all the time doing gear checks to TMPers, and I blow you guys away in preparedness. Just saying. Occasionally, I am surprised. Let me say that again. Rarely, I am surprised that you have, I don't know, more than 3 items. No one, and I repeat, no one has ever matched my EDC system that I've met in person. Online, of course, everybody can say, oh, I got this, I got that. Yeah, right. Sure you do. Right up until I meet you and you're like, oh, I left it in the car. Anyways, I don't want the video to go too long. This is the heart of my EDC system. Still is. Not too many changes from that last video. One would be Glock 26 extra magazine Galco classic light shoulder holster. That's right. Packing a G26 these days. When the shirt can take it. I don't want it puffing out too much. Double stack mag, thicker, Glock thicker. So when thinness is a priority with the shirt, I'll go with a PF9, PM9, maybe a Ruger LCR. Whoa. PPK. That's right. Generally G26. Real quick, I'll do peekaboo on the system. Not going to spend much time. Taser C2 usually comes along for the ride. Non-lethal response item, the Taser C2. So awesome. Check that review out. That's ancient at this point, my review on this. Still love the C2. Look how that carries on a fanny pack. Just so well. Blouse a shirt over it. You just don't even know it's there. But Nutnfancy, I just can't wear a fanny pack. I'm not secure with myself. Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever. I will, though. And man, I'm prepared. Okay, same stuff you saw in there. No surprise. And then it carries the very essential stuff that I always want to have with me. Kind of like this dude. Baron is his name. Oh, I'm just messing with you guys. Of course I don't carry this. I just found him in the house. I was like, that would be fun to put it in and take the wallet out. That would really be fun to do a gear check, and the guy didn't see this video, and I was like, hey man, you got your teddy bear? No, he doesn't come along for the ride. See you, Baron. Check you later. Change purse, whatever. Oh yeah, Neosporin's in there. But this is the heart of where I'm going, and I've got to bypass some stuff. Ooh, flash drive nowadays. That's a Cruiser by SanDisk. Preon 1. Victorinox Classic. Rape whistle. Still there. Oh, the STR titanium pry bar. I just used that, by the way, on a steel target. Totally helped out. Almar Eagle. Backup tactical blade. Oh, love that thing. And then, of course, the multi-tool Juice S2. Yeah, baby. My LDMT reference standard. That is light-duty multi-tool. Man, I love this thing. I reviewed it like a long time ago. July 2008, the Juice S2. It's over 4 years, and you can see I have not changed in what I carry. If I would have found something better, trust me, I would be carrying it right now. Has my sewn lanyard on it. Don't know if I showed you that last time. There's no change. I still love it. However, my apologies, because for whatever reason, I skipped on 2 other Juice versions and never did a review on them, and I'm changing that right now with this rather unstructured multi-tool review. I hope you don't mind. Say hello to the Leatherman Juice XE6, big brother to the S2. And then, as you saw in the title, it's going to be the CS4. Yeah. That is a family of awesome, actually I'm going to call them medium duty multi-tools because the weights on these go or bounce against that category enough. And these are awesome. Why didn't you review them until now? How about SAWC? That's the answer. And subscribers to the Nutnfancy project know exactly what I'm talking about. Size and weight considerations. The reason, and I'm not trying to be funny, but the reason the fanny pack works is because it's so thin. This one cinches tight, and you just really can't even tell it's there. However, if I start stoking it with a bunch of fat multi-tools, like the XE6, it's fat. Come on, let's be honest, it is. Then that whole game plan's out the window, and now it's sticking out, and it just won't work with me. The whole reason for me it works is because of the trimness. That's why. That being said, if your system can integrate these slightly thicker and somewhat heavier multi-tools, totally check them out because they provide more capabilities than my beloved and long recommended. I've sold thousands and thousands for Leatherman Juice S2. Still love it, my reference standard. Let's take a look on the interior because it's going to be the same for all three tools. And it's what I showed you back in July 2008. No surprises. Just a super quick review. There's your Phillips driver. Since these are compact MTs, don't expect long shanks here. Works good enough. They all have lanyard rings, by the way, and you can see what I do to them. I tie on the reflective Celtic Trip Tees guy line so I can find them if they're ever dropped on the ground with my light, which, by the way, I always have. Oh yeah, Preon's in there, and in addition I carry other lights, kind of like that one. That's my EDC today. Streamlight, what is that, ProTac, AAA version. Okay, so there's your Phillips. Cool. Nothing more that you have room for on that side. On the interior, that takes us to this side, and then you have your flat-bladed drivers. There's three of them. Three different sizes, short shanks. Same as we've always seen. This one is extremely useful in the Nutnfancy project. That small one, it's great for sight adjustments. I can't tell you how many times we've been at the range in the desert shooting. We need to have that driver to make the adjustment. Usually it's on the rear sight of a pistol. Done it lots. Just love it. Very functional. You can use them as mini pry bars too. Don't put lots of torque on them. The plier heads are all the same. Precise, light duty plier heads. Hard wire cutter at the base. Regular wire cutter right there. Relatively precise jaws that can reach into everywhere. And then you have some knurling on the interior. Same stuff we talked about before. So on all three, you share that. And they're stiff. That's one thing I love about Leatherman, is the fitting is just excellent. In other words, Allie's ripping someone's throat out. In other words, if I pull these, I'm not accidentally folding these. The detents are very positive. The whole multi-tool is tight. First, a criticism though. This one actually just got back from over the ledge backpacking rappelling trip. And it's funny how I'm always learning. This is one thing I learned about all these MTs that you might want to be aware of. And I mentioned it, I think, in the review in '08. They are closed architecture. You can't take them apart. You see how they're pinned handles? Is that important? Kind of. One, I'd like to be able to clean it if I could, because I dropped this in the dust and I got dust behind the aluminum scales. And that's all these are, aluminum scales on all three versions. And man, was that annoying. It's like gritty and I don't know. It's still in there. You can hear some of it. But it was just annoying. I couldn't clean it. I can't take it apart. So what I did is I put it in an ultrasonic bath for like 8 hours, and I ran it, and then I used compressed air and high pressure water, dried it out, and it's mostly gone. A slight downside. That's a CS4. XE6 I think I'll start with on the exterior tool review. Both of these versions have what I still think is an extraneous tool for me, and that is the corkscrew. Wah, wah. Dude, seriously, never need that. I wish they'd put something else there. Don't need it. However, this pretty much is awesome. And it's on all three versions. That's a cap lifter and can opener. And I've used it lots. And I've bent one. I've got like, I don't know, 4 S2s. I've bent the cap lifter on one. I forgot what I was doing, some prying task. I do like the Victorinox can opener better. I've always said that here in the Nutnfancy project. Here comes one of my very beloved and ultra cool looking Victorinox mechanic knives, and actually this one wears some pliers. Oh, excellent. The pliers on these blow these away. I'm sorry, they just do. I've taken this backpacking fishing and I'm always wishing that I had this with me. This plier set. It will work. It is lighter weight, and other than that, it's a normal Swiss Army knife. But I was going to show you the can opener just by quick way of reference. That is perfection, dudes, right there. Total perfection. So you have that. That's part of it. And then on the XE6, you have your standard blade. The grinding on this US produced multi-tool can be different at times. I've seen lots, have lots. Sometimes it won't be perfect, but that I see pretty much on all knives. Out of box, both of these were superbly sharp. There's the packaging for the CS4 when we purchased it. Great blade. 420 high carbon, I mean, what can I say? It's a good utility steel. It's not awesome. You know, I'd rather see 154 cm, but that's going to add cost, just like it does in the Charge series. It is. Positive detent on that blade, just like we saw in the S2. Look at that. It's not locking. Remember, these are compact multi-tools. You can't get everything. They're not locking. That's the knife. Straight edge, by the way. I love that. Real easy to sharpen. Hollow ground. I forgot to mention that. And then on this side, oh, nothing fancy. You got scissors. Oh man, even in the XE6, I know, I'm stoked. What can I say? They're just really perfect, compact multi-tool scissors. They're really better scissors than you would ever expect to find in such a compact multi-tool. They all, well actually this one has them. The S2 does too. I love the scissors. They're just outstanding. XE6, they come along, spring-loaded. Got to keep going here. Just getting excited. And then you have a rescue blade, non-locking again, on the XE6. Sheep's foot serrated variety. Works great. We're cutting a lot of cordage with it in a task and just fine. Don't expect hard use because it's not locking. But I mean, in a compact multi-tool, you have a rescue cutting function. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have to go under a seat belt, or I think even more likely is getting to a pant leg, getting some clothing off to get to a break. Maybe it's compound fracture or something very unpleasant like that. That's the sheep's foot rescue blade on the XE6. And then it has this very cool and very functional file. Double cut variety, and it's funky looking. I ain't going to say it isn't, because it has to follow the organic lines, i.e. the roundness of the XE6. Double cut on that side, and it's cut on the bottom so you can groove with it. And then it's diamond coated on this side. That's a dang good file, don't you think, for a compact multi-tool? Positive detent locking, just excellent. Look at the ergonomics on these tools. They're very rounded. There's no squares. The handles are actually kind of rounded, unlike perhaps some of the Swiss tools that I've reviewed a long time ago. It's pretty ergonomic. CS4, come on up, brother. This side's the same. Corkscrew, cap lifter, can opener. And then I gotta close it for this right here. You get Southern boys know what I'm saying. There you go. There's your knife. Same. And then you get my beloved and most desirable feature in a multi-tool. Not most, but it's up there, and that's a punch all. I can drill with that. I can scrape. I can sews with it. I love it. Hey, Nutnfancy, why don't you get a CS4 if you love an all so much? You're right. You're right. I should. It's still a little bit heavier, though, which I don't think I've mentioned yet. 5.4 ounces is a CS4. This purple Mamma Jamma, by the way, I love both of these colorations. I think they're just really pretty. This one, though, is 6.8 ounces, the XE6. Love that all. Nice and sharp. Not sharp as in like a knife, but it has a nice angular surface to it. And here's another cool feature on the CS4. We used it on the trip too. Saws. Look how thin of a kerf that is too. Thinness is important because it's less energy to cut, more precise. That's a great way to make your trap triggers in the woods. In fact, you talk about philosophy of use, the CS4 is a great backpacking multi-tool. Actually, it's better than the S2 if, big if, your system can take the weight. Can it? I don't know. Who are you? How much in shape are you? How far are you going? Are you a soldier? I watch every ounce. You guys know that, but I sure love that saw. It's just excellent. Both of these are superb multi-tools. Now, I mentioned the weight on this one. By the way, notice I screwed that up. I got to lift the awl first, then fold. No big deal. 6.8 ounces. 6.8 ounces. What's another multi-tool at 6.8 ounces? Leatherman Sidekick reviewed a while back. Super high value multi-tool, around $23. That's an MDMT. Same exact weight. Now the Wingman's the same way. You can go watch those reviews. I cover all the tool set on that. Maybe decide which one you'd want. If you're asking me, it's a hard decision. You know, what are you going to be using most? Are you going to be using the Plier Heads, which are more substantial and stronger in the Sidekick and Wingman? Or do you want the versatility and additional tools that perhaps that would bring to the table? I don't know. They're both excellent. The quality levels on the XE6, CS4, and for that matter, my beloved S2 Juice. Here's my orange one, though. This is the one I reviewed in '08. Hallowed ground, the Leatherman S2 Juice and TMP. But I was going to say, the quality levels on these, a little bit better. These are US produced multi-tools, as far as I know. There's that, not milling, but casting of the Leatherman logo. Kind of expensive. Kind of a hallmark of quality. These things rock. They rock. I mean, value-wise, what are we talking? The XE6 around $65, I think, and $2012. The CS4 around $50, $55, depending where you go. Look at the upper right. That's my recommended retailer to go get these for as cheap as you can. Cheap as you can. Still love the S2. And no, I'm not going to replace the S2 in my daily carry. As much as I love the CS4, the CS4 would actually be in line right here to jump on into the EDC Nutnfancy fanny pack. Yeah, that's right. It would, but this one's riding. And on the table, just by way of reference, is a Gerber MP400 military version at around $38 I bought at Military Clothing. It's okay. It's okay. It just doesn't excite me. It just doesn't have the elegance, the design elegance, reference to my multi-tool continuum video there at the top, of a well-designed multi-tool. These do. Smooth, ergonomic. I don't need rapid deploying pliers for what I use it for. Yeah, these things are awesome. They're tough too. I mean, having used the S2 Juice for a long time, I ain't seen one break. You know, a couple quibbles like the handle scales getting grit under it. That's about it. Highly recommended. That's my review. Get ready for that gear check, dude. Get the